Hopefully. All right, welcome to Sunday night. A little late, 15 minutes. Welcome to the wonderful world of Generation X, an hour that we get together as former 80s kids in the same time slot that we used to sit on the floor and watch the House of Mouse entertain us on a cathode tube, ray tube television set. Now we do it on our phones, and we get together at 8 p.m. every Sunday Eastern time. But instead of talking about things Disney, we talk about all things Generation X. We talk about what it was like growing up in the 70s, the 80s, the 90s. What it was like growing up in a world that consisted less of technology, digital, less computers, no internet, and just more analog, real stuff. As you pop in, come in and say hey, and hopefully I'll be able to see your comments. And I can see it. We fixed it. What's going on? Good to see you, Warp Dog. What's going on, Record Hound? You are first. So we tried this 3 times now. This is the 4th time that we're trying to go live. There was an issue. What's going on, Doreen? Good to see you. Closer than I've been in years to you. You're just down the road from me in Tampa. I'm here in Orlando today. We were not able to get the chat working. And what is a live without chat? It doesn't work for me. So we had to keep trying until we figured it out. But that is the cool thing about us Gen Xers. We grew up analog, but we get digital. People may think that we're old school, that we grew up in a world without computers, without the internet. But when stuff goes wrong, we're the ones that they tell to fix it. In my house, when the internet goes down, I'm the one they say to reset the wire. What's going on, Wirehead? To reset the router. We're doing this try. We got it. We finally got it to work. So YouTube's got a glitch where they're moderating things that we don't need moderated. But it looks like we're all right. What's going on, Wirehead? What's going on, Doreen? What's going on, Kevin? Hello from Annapolis, Maryland. Love it. Great to see you. I am live today from Central Florida, from Orlando, Florida, at the Central Florida Fair. And no, this isn't heaven, and it's not Iowa either, but it is, what's going on, Brian Hunter, the Blockbuster experience. I am literally live from the mobile pop-up version of one of the last Blockbusters on Earth. Basically all the movies, none of the late fees. All of the rentals without any of the cost of extended rental. What's going on, Deb? Yes, I'm back. Finally got it to work. Brian Hunter, hello. What the lock? Good to see you. What the heck are you shooting from? A potato. I don't think I get that. You're blurry, but you can see. Dwyerhead, thank you so much, dude. Appreciate it. Let me see if I can get the connection a little clearer for you guys. That might help with the connection. Appreciate it. Have not got a goal yet, but we'll see at a Blockbuster in 2026. Dude, it's incredible. Basically anything you would have seen at a Blockbuster, we can see here. Yeah, give it a minute. Kevin, thank you so much. No, I am not your father. Not Luke, I am your father. Dude, in my timeline, he said Luke. But if you know anything about the way that videos work, you'll understand that the more comments I get, the better it is for the video. So I'd be lying if I didn't say I knew I'd get people trying to correct me in that video, and I'm okay with it. The more comments I get of people saying he never said Luke, the better it is for me, so that works. What's going on, Gen X Goonie? Good to see you, Andrew. Better? Good. Hey, Kristen. No longer pixelated. Does everything look good? So let's do this. Let's get around a little bit. So, as I said, mobile Blockbuster. This is actually an actual Dropbox from a Blockbuster. Everything they've got in these things is absolutely real from an actual Blockbuster video. All the movies, dude, if you ever go to one of these pop-ups, they've got like 10,000 movies, games, and you can just pick them up. $5 a piece, whether it's on DVD, VHS. I've already picked up more than I want to admit to. We got all kinds of stuff. It's very, very, very cool. And I'm glad I got to spend about 4 minutes here. We're in the pipe 5x5, sounds good. Don't skip my super chat. I wouldn't think about it, Kevin. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Pick is good. Awesome. Love it. I prefer $2. Zarin, thank you so much. 5 months is an honorary extra. I appreciate it. Dude, they've got candy. They've got popcorn. They've even got a candle that smells like Blockbuster Video because it has the popcorn. We've got, remember these bad boys? Be Kind, Rewind. Pretty cool. I'll rent Dirty Dancing or Footloose. Well, that's the thing. I love buying this stuff because for $5 a pop, I paid more in late fees than I actually pay for the movie right now. I'll rent, I don't want Top Gun. I don't know what that means, Doreen. But I hope everybody's doing well. What's been going on this week? I hope everybody had a great week. Nightmare on Elm Street, we got it here. I used to buy pre-owned movies, so did I. And by pre-owned, I mean they're the ones that I had home for so long that the late fee exceeded the amount of money that it would have cost to buy the movie. So that's Less Than Zero, Braveheart, High Fidelity, Jerry Maguire, Something About Mary, What About Bob, Dumb and Dumber, Ace Ventura, League of Their Own. On this side, Stand By Me, Superman the Movie, Heaven Can Wait, Animal House, Total Recall, Platoon, Eddie Murphy, Delirious, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, Raising Arizona, Mystic Pizza, Red Dawn, Cocktail, Dirty Dancing, Adventures in Babysitting, Howard the Duck, Uncle Buck, right there, I'm staring at it. Pretty cool. What's going on, Maria? Good to see you. Oh, Marie Clayton, good to see you. Deadly Friends horror movie. I'm not sure about that one. Our Entire Life on the Shelves. Doreen, you are 1,000,000,000% correct. Roxanne, Moonstruck, Wizard of Oz, Knight's Tale, Die Hard, Die Hard 2, Die Hard 3, Flashdance. How many nights spent walking the stacks, coming in for one movie, having it not be there, and having to decide what we were going to do to fill it in? So many nights we planned around genres, right? We would do horror movie weekends. And we'd start at Blockbuster Video and see, is it going to be the Friday the 13th? Are we going to do all of them in one sitting? Are we going to do Nightmare on Elm Street? Are we going to do those B-rated, cutting class, April Fool Day, different movies that were still the slasher films, but not the big ones? Leprechaun, Wirehead, Labyrinth. Dude, David Bowie in those tight pants is scarier than any horror movie I ever saw. Marie Clayton with the $2. For her rewind. Thank you. We just got our goal today. $137.50 is the goal for this evening. I will always say whether we make it or not, it's all part of the journey. It is the goal that YouTube sets for me. $137.50. We've got 157 people in here. How do we get there? We get there $2 at a time. We get there better off dead. I want my $2. That's how we get there. If you feel like it, hit that super chat and help the page out. I was in the original Star Wars with no change. I want the original Star Wars with no changes to it. I don't know. How do you guys feel about that? Holy crap, no way you hit that goal already. No, I did not hit the goal. We're at $5. Good to see you, Linda. We just got on. We had some technical difficulties. Pushing over 100 people in the room. Let's get more. Everybody share it. Let's see how things go. I hope they have all the movies for that. That's funny. Hey, John, do they have Goonies? They absolutely have Goonies. Dude, it's everything. Goonies, Misery, Willow. They've got an entire section on John Hughes. I'm looking at 16 Candles, Weird Science, Some Kind of Wonderful, Uncle Buck, 16 Candles, I said, Pretty in Pink. It's so cool just to walk around and see how many amazing movies came out from the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s. And the 2000s had some good movies, but every week it seemed like an amazing movie was out in the theaters. Do they have They Live? I don't know, but I can find out. And this thing travels. St. Elmo's Fire, they have right in front of me. Every week, we could just see that a great movie was coming out, one after the other. Hey, Julie, have you got They Live?
That's a little rich for everybody's blood.
Really? They Live apparently is an expensive one. Iowa is your home state? This is oh, Linda, thank you so much. Appreciate you. Linda says you are my refuge from a chaotic week. I love you, my friend. Yeah, this is all weekend I've been wearing movie shirts. Whether it was My Name is Inigo Montoya, The Princess Bride, whether it's Don't You Forget About Me. Today it's my homage to Field of Dreams. Is this heaven? No. It's Iowa. Inconceivable. Dude, every week an amazing movie was coming out. We had a reason to be in the theater every weekend. I went twice a week. My small town, we would go and we would just go and sit and watch it a second time. It didn't matter. Because it was about the socialization. It was about sitting in those seats. It was about taking a girl to the theater. I remember being a kid, my first date, maybe yours too. First dates as a kid in middle school and high school was all about movies. Even later in life, it became dinner and a movie. But movies, the theater, the movie house was where we learned how to get into relationships, how to meet people, how to date. It was a safe spot because it meant that for an hour and a half, we didn't really need to come up with conversation. The biggest thing I had to worry about in 8th grade when I took Amy Cole to go see a movie was at what point I was going to try to hold her hand. Was I going to try to kiss her when the credits came down at the end? It was just awesome. And then when we talk about rental places like Blockbuster Video, that was a different kind of date, right? That was a different kind of social experience. We would tell a friend, you go get the beer, you go get the popcorn, you go get the pizza, I'll go get the movie. Our lives as young kids centered around movies in a way that I know for a fact is not true of kids today. And we talk about music and television a lot, MTV, we talk about the videos, we talk about the different musical artists, we talk about the different shows, but movies is that third pillar, that third stand on the stool for us. What's going on, Kristen West? I'm not sure if I had a chance to say hello. Big Dave K, good to see you in the house. Carlos, hello. First movie me and my girlfriend went to was the remake of the Brady Bunch. That's awesome. I don't know if I remember my first date movie. Stacy, thank you so much with the $2. Gets us at $15.67, $17.67 now. What did people do if they didn't have all three trilogies? Probably still do Rock of Ages. I don't remember my first movie as a date, though. I do remember in the 90s, I realized that a really good date movie was any movie that Disney had put out at the time. Something like Aladdin was a great date movie. It was safe. It wasn't going to get too heavy. I made the mistake of taking a girl to see My Girl, thinking that was the date movie of the summer. And I was very wrong. It was not, by any means, the date movie of the summer. We loved all things horror. Young Frankenstein. Normal something. Okay. Linda says, oh crap. Not sure what you mean by that, Linda. John's date movie is Beaches. Doreen, it is literally booyah. I should have had it waiting for you. Oh. And it was a date movie. I actually took a girlfriend to see it because she wanted to see it. Hence how I got myself into this whole Beaches mess. Spinal Tap's a good one. My Girl is the first date. Dude, that's how they advertised it. I still remember them saying, come see the date, feel good date movie of the summer, My Girl. It was not a feel good date movie. And I'm pretty sure we've got both My Girl and My Girl 2. So let's see. So easy to find. Jonathan Taylor Thomas. Did anybody know that him? It looks like JJTT.
No, it's that other kid.
It's that other kid. He's doing a really good Jonathan Taylor Thomas impression. But let's see. My Girl from the producers of Parenthood. A coming-of-age comedy. We Have to Live at $20. Dude, thank you so much. Old Gen Extra here. First date was The Jazz Singer with Neil Young and Leather and Lace playing from the radio when we got the car to go home. Sending you lots of love. Thank you for helping us get moving on our goal. I appreciate that so much. But yeah, it wasn't just me. They marketed this as a date movie. Here's your movie. Jazz singer, Neil Diamond. My mother loves the Coming to America song on this. Being an immigrant, she still cries when she hears it. My Girl was absolutely false advertising. Let's read on. Coming of age comedy. Starring Dan Aykroyd, Jamie Lee Curtis, Macaulay Culkin from Home Alone, and newcomer Anna Chlumsky. My Girl is an irresistible story of first love and loss. Chlumsky makes an extraordinary acting debut, blah, 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 blah. The summer adventures from first kiss to last farewell. Yeah, okay, maybe that was a hint. It's a motion picture to cherish. No, it is a motion picture to avoid at all costs. If you are lucky enough to not understand what I mean when Thomas J. cannot see without his glasses, consider yourself lucky. I can't even believe they made a sequel. How'd this kid die? That's all I want to know. What other movies are we going to talk about tonight? You make getting older so much more fun. Thank you. Dana, you're so welcome. And it's, you know what? I've said it a million times. If a magic genie popped out of a lamp and said, I get to be young again, but the price for being young would mean growing up today. Instead of growing up in the 70s and 80s, it's no every day of the week and twice on Sunday. Every person who's lucky will get a chance to get old. If you are fortunate and are given the gift of life, you're going to get old. But not everybody got to grow up when we did. And that is irreplaceable. Red light stop, green light go, yellow light go, very easy. I don't know what that means. Ghostbusters? God, I haven't seen Ghostbusters in a while. The new ones I hear are pretty good. Stripes, that's a good one. Who's Harry Crumb? Nice. How about Ghostbusters? Right there. How's that for a magic trick? Do you like that? Do you like that? Do you think I had that waiting for you? Yeah, Who's Harry Crumb? Listen, anything John Candy, you cannot lose. Cannot lose. Spies Like Us, too funny. But Harry Crumb, I've not seen in a long time. Maybe we need to watch and see what's in here. You like that? See how I did that? Come on, dude. That's pretty good. Yeah, John Candy. A bigger, better, and more bumbling than ever, the hilarious Harry Crumb. A big-hearted, soft-headed, okay. Private Eye, mixed-up master of disguise. $2, Gen X rules. Thank you so much, Hugo. But yeah, Spies Like Us, I'm glad you brought it up because, dude, Chevy Chase, Dan Aykroyd, I think I heard they don't particularly care for one another. So the fact that they got through this together is pretty cool. The Great Outdoors, dude, I lived with The Great Outdoors. The one thing about Blockbuster that was amazing for me was that we would always make sure we had a couple movies on hand over the weekend, right? And the coolest part was if I was going out drinking and I came home at night, I actually bought a copy of The Great Outdoors. Coming home drunk, this is the movie we put on, and we would just recite it, word for word with every line from the lightning scene where, what is it, 66 or 99? 66. How many times have you been hit by lightning? Six times? No, 66 times, all the way to Bear, Big Bear, whoo, Big Bear, in the head. So there's your Great Outdoors memory. Had a wild crush on Fran Drescher? Okay. Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Dan the Breaking News Man says, John, I didn't rewind. Sorry. Dude, they loved it when you didn't rewind because they had all the machines needed and they charged you your $3.99 when you didn't rewind. Kenny's gonna kill me. I have that one on DVD, actually. I love that one. Breakfast Club, I bought their only version. I already have it back in my hotel, so I can't get my hands on that. But you better believe I bought Breakfast Club. I've got it on VHS. They had it, and I grabbed it. Saving Private Ryan. That's one I haven't thought of in a while, Doreen. Fletch. No worries, Jim of all trades. We have not been on too long. We were having technical difficulties. A Fish Called Wanda. That's the Kenny is coming to kill me. I own that one on DVD. Back to the Future. They had one copy of Back to the Future. That one got lost, right? I don't think I've ever seen this one. Anybody seen Milk Money?
Do you know what it's about?
No, but I'm going to find out. It is about Melanie Griffith and Ed Harris making a perfect match in this delightful romantic comedy that's rich with laughs and love. So I guess that's not so bad. Why did they bring this to me? 12-year-old Frank Wheeler and his two best buddies are determined to solve life's biggest mystery, women. So they pooled their piggy bank money and head for their big city. Their plan? To peek at a naked lady. So it's literally about kids using their milk money to buy a woman of the night, a professional lady, so to speak. Dude, that's worse than Porky's. What year was this?
1993.
1993. Go 90s. Porky's. Porky's, I've got... I saw it. Somebody buy it?
Hold on, I got one.
I think we bought Porkies. I think we sold Porkies. Weird Science. Not as much magic when I don't have them close. All right, Weird Science. So this is like the college version, the college nerd version of milk money, right? Instead of pooling their milk money and hiring a prostitute, they get together and use their computer skills to make one. Although, joke's on them, she's smarter than the both of them combined. So this is a very cool movie. Class, I loved Class. That's a good one I haven't thought about. Looks like he's almost running the joint. Thanks, Big Dave. The Frankenstein legend takes an uproarious twist in this outrageous special effects-laden comedy from the writer-director of 16 Candles and The Breakfast Club, critically acclaimed filmmaker, John Hughes. So what do you little maniacs want to do first? Dude, the scene where they're in the shower with her was incredible.
Just passed away.
Who did? Oh, I just put that on my... So, I didn't remember she was in it. That's so sad. Yeah, another boomer, Jen Jones, Gen Xer, just passed away. Jennifer Runyon. She was on Charles in Charge. Yeah, John Hughes wrote and I don't know if he directed it. It's a John Hughes film because he wrote it. It was directed by him as well. So written and directed by. That's a yes. You have been recruited to the Star League to defend the frontier against Zurich. Yeah. Do I remember Mannequin? Absolutely. I just did a video basically saying how many songs were made famous by the movies they were in, and I had Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now by Starship as one of my featured songs. 39.67, guys, on a goal of 124.60, it looks like. My eyes aren't working great. So we're getting there. We're almost at a quarter of the way there with about a quarter of the show done. So again, how do we get there? 165 of us. $2 at a time will get us there, if you feel like it. And if not, hey, no worries. Sleepaway Camp, Return of the Living Dead, Beastmaster, Warriors, Revenge of the Nerds. Dude, we can go on and on and on. I could name 300 movies from the 70s, 80s, and 90s but tell me to name 10 from 2025, I don't think I could do it. And I don't know that that's a good thing. Is that because movies aren't any good anymore, or have we taken ourselves out of the equation? Qwerty, thank you so much for the $2. I think it's more the latter than the former. I think we've kind of taken ourselves out, and I want to get back in again. There's got to be good movies still going on. It's like music. Thankfully, people like Record Hound and others let us know there are good music out there. We just have to find it. That's not one of them, Kevin. Irma says movies suck now. I don't think so. There's more of them. I've seen good stuff on Netflix. It's just that there's just, where did we used to go to watch movies? We went to the movie theater to watch movies, right? And then eventually they came on the Friday night movies on ABC or the Sunday night movie on ABC. And then finally after that to Blockbuster and HBO. But now they're just spread out. It's all over the place. It's too much. Did I like Fast Times at Ridgemont High? I love Fast Times. I will say I didn't see it as a kid in its entirety. In my teenage years, I rented it a few times. I didn't watch it beginning to end, in spite of renting it a few times. And we'll kind of leave it at that. But about 6 months ago, I pulled it up and I watched it beginning to end. History of the World Part 1, I know I saw that somewhere. Critters, kind of like a Gremlins ripoff, if you ask me. One Crazy Summer. History of the World Part 1, I know I saw somewhere. Abyss, I'd forgotten about that one. Oh, Linda, that makes me happy reading that. Being with all of y'all makes me happy. We just went over 41.67. Thank you, guys. Life of Brian. Dude, Cajun S, $100. Unbelievable. Takes us about $2 under goal. For me and 49 others, I've been MIA for a while, making up for lost time. Hope everyone is doing well. Cajun S, we're hoping you're doing well. Completely and totally above and beyond, not necessary. Guys, all thanks going out to Cajun S, supporting the page, supporting me, supporting our mission of bringing all things back from the 80s and dragging it into the 2000s. Hope the reason you've been missing was all good stuff. If it wasn't Cajun S, you know we're thinking about you. Sending all kinds of love. Thank you so much. Yeah, Wirehead. Awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. John, speaking of Jennifer Runyon, got Up the Creek. I don't know if I've seen Up the Creek. We're on it. Blue Lagoon. So, announcements. I will be back to Florida and Knoxville, Tennessee. I'm coming to Florida for Fanboy Expo in Orlando, and I will be going to Fanboy Expo in Knoxville. And at both of those, I think Chris Atkins will be there. So we'll have an opportunity to talk with him, I hope. So that's pretty cool. Lord of the Flies, I think I had in my hand at one point. And I have it in my hand again. This wasn't bad. So what's funny is, I refer to this, you know, if you account for inflation, the Paperboy is now owed $17.50 in cash. Kevin, you emailed that to me. I'm going to still keep it at, I want my $2. And there we go. Linda, thank you so much. That just put us over 142. That gets us to goal. Appreciate you guys. Cajun S, thank you for doing all the heavy lifting tonight. Sending nothing but love to everybody. $2, $20, $100. Goals, no goals. Our goal is to bring everything that's amazing about the era that we grew up in and make sure that nobody forgets it. That's our goal. And you guys helped me get there, so thank you. I refer to this as the new Lord of the Flies. Is it just me? Like, I'm like, there's an old one, the black and white version, and this is the new one. And my daughter, my 22-year-old, asked me at one point if, what's going on, Chev? If I was going to watch Lord of the Flies, because my younger sister was reading it, her younger sister was reading it. I said, which one? Do you want the old one or the new one? And she was confused. She goes, I don't think there is a new one. There's just the old one. Well, she was calling this the old one. And I'm like, no, that's the new one. The old one's black and white. She goes, Dad, your new one? Your new version is 36 years old. This came out in 1990. So this is older than the old one was when we were watching the new one. So, but this one's right up there. If Thomas J can't see without his glasses, neither can Piggy. I'm dead now, says Linda. I think they're looking at making Lord of the Flies again. I think they should. That's one I don't mind them making because it's based on a book. Have at it. Have a great time. I watched the black and white one in school as well, Jim of all trades. Monster Squad. Baby Gen X here, love your content. Thank you so much. Ditto, right back at you. Who has the coach? Conch. Who has the conch? I see what you did there. Apparently I do because I'm the one talking. Notes the rewinder in the background. Dude, Julie, who puts together this Blockbuster experience. And now listen, if you haven't, go over to my Facebook page, go over to my Instagram page, or just look up the Blockbuster experience, and you will see content. Julie has cultivated, curated, collected so many things relevant to the era that Blockbuster was born in. And she's done an amazing job of keeping this alive. And there's pop-ups that'll go to different cons, different fairs, different events. And the fact that it's not a Blockbuster store shouldn't be lost on you. It's an experience. It's walking in the door and walking through the hot tub time machine. It's going back in time. And when I watch complete strangers come in, and as one's holding a movie in their hand, someone that had no idea who that person was starts saying to them, oh my God, I love that movie you're holding. That's an amazing movie. Or do they have another one? I've seen complete and total strangers have so many great conversations, and then they start taking selfies with each other, and take the selfies out of it. That's what it was like at Blockbuster. That's what made it more than just watching a movie, because you always met someone when you were in the store. It was an experience, and that's what they're trying to bring back, and that's why I love being able to come out and hang with them. Blockbuster forced the socially awkward to be social. Our lives forced the socially awkward to be social. John, it's almost like at dude, record stores were the same thing. That's what I'm talking about. Arcades were the same thing. We didn't play video games by ourselves. There were 4 other people that had quarters on the screen watching us play and hoping we'd die soon so they could play, but it was social. Anyway, we're at Blockbuster. Let's hear more movies. You know one I didn't know John Hughes did? Hold on. Good. Curly Sue. I'm told this is underrated, but I don't know anything about it. James Belushi, Kelly Lynch, ranks with John Hughes' best work, a heartwarming fantasy with a lot of humor. That was Siskel and Ebert. Kevin says that movie sucked. Nowadays, when we're at an arcade, we might die soon for real. That's fair. Strange Brew. Julie, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Another Town, Another Innocent Scam for Vagabond Bill Dancer. That would be James Belushi. This time, Bill hits the jackpot. His newest con whisks them both along the poorhouse to the penthouse with lots of laughs along the way. Fairly soon. I don't know. They're saying it's a John Hughes movie. I see his name at the very top. I had no idea. But not one of my favorites because I didn't see it. Strange Brew soundtrack is funny too. Dude, that was the other thing I made a video talking about. Our television, movies, and music were undeniably linked. We watched music on television, MTV, videos. We heard songs in movies, soundtracks. We had montages, and it was all movies, music, and television were inexplicably tied together. And soundtracks from a great movie were some of my favorite albums. John Hughes wrote for National Lampoon magazine early on, exactly, and he also wrote National Lampoon's Vacation. Romeo and Juliet, JTR. Romeo and Juliet I remember seeing in school. The proverbial VCR carton television got rolled in, and we all snickered when you could see Romeo's butt. That was a big deal back then. They Call Me Bruce. Desperately Seeking Susan. I haven't thought of that in a while. Witches of Eastwick. The Lady in Red. Last Unicorn. Fright Night. Yeah, 1968 Romeo and Juliet is the best, and she just passed fairly recently. Maybe it was a year ago. Mask for Cher fans. They Call Me Bruce was funny. Our movies were similar to our lives. It was kids, teens, groups hanging out, and that's what we wanted to do. But it was more than that. I appreciate that, Deb, for sure. But I remember being a kid and watching on Golden Pond. Why? Because that was the movie that happened to be playing the weekend that I was going out to the movies with my friends. It didn't matter what it was. John, thank you so much for the $5. Appreciate you. Thank you. I appreciate you, buddy. Smokey and the Bandit, somebody just wrote. We saw adult movies as kids and learned from that too. Maximum Overdrive, loved it. Trauma, Not Trauma. Legend, Chariots of Fire. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that, T. The Quest for Fire, JTR, I remember seeing The Quest for Fire and got way, way, way more than I bargained for. There are two movies that shocked me with the content that I didn't expect. One was Quest for Fire for sure. The other was The Crying Game. And I'm convinced the concept of The Crying Game was you went, you watched, you cried, and that was the game. But Smokey and the Bandit, dude, all-time best box office hits, Burt Reynolds, Jackie Gleason, absolutely incredible. This was not kids' movie fare. Cannonball Run was not for kids, but we watched it and we loved it. Best Little Whorehouse in Texas was not for kids, but I watched it. Do they have Yellowbeard? I don't know, Record Hound. I don't think I know Yellowbeard. I mean, Dolly Parton, Best Little Whorehouse in Texas? In a rousing song and dance for a new Texas legend, blah, 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 blah. Chicken Ranch's proprietress, Miss Mona, they joined together in a adventure. Okay. The Crying Game. Dude, I saw this on a date. I took a date to see this. What year was this? And they say we didn't have interesting lives. This was 92. So I was 22 years old, and this was the best kept secret of 1992. Because if you went to see this on a date night, you didn't ruin it for anyone else. You wanted to make sure that your buddies were also there on a date night, because this was just one of those movies that was one of those movies. And I've not seen it since. But The Crying Game is the unpredictable, unconventional, multi-Oscar nominated masterpiece that has become the sleeper hit of the year. There was nothing
Just behind it.
sleeperish about this. So, yeah. Now, when it comes to Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, what am I giving here? This is the original Chicken Ranch warranty deed. So this is literally the deed to the ranch for the Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. This is what makes this an experience, guys. There are costumes from the movies. There are obviously movies from the movies. There's so much here, and it changes every single time. If you go to a pop-up in Knoxville, it's not going to be the same one you're going to go to in Orlando. There's constantly new things coming. There's constantly new movies, new content, new games. And I got to tell you, the best thing was, one of the best things, they have a display of television sets. Do they have Clerks? I don't know. Do we have Clerks? Mallrats? Chasing Amy? Probably got sold. They have a wall of CRTs, cathode ray tube television sets. And we had little kids coming through. And my favorite thing to do with the little kids is we would have, go Bills, we would have the TVs on, and I would have the kids put the back of their hand against the screen of the television, and they would immediately jerk their hand back because of the static. That wasn't something they were used to feeling. And so many adults, when I did that with their kids, remembered that for the first time. They'd like forgotten that in years. But we used to put our hands in the dark right up against the television, and the static would light up behind our hands. We used to take magnets to the TV screen. Yes, static electricity. We would take magnets to the TV screen to see all the pretty colors. Mallrats. Dude, Willem. My favorite scene in this, I spent most of my early 90s on a mission to destroy Magic Eye posters because I believed they were a personal attack on me. I really thought it was like some major conspiracy for everyone just to mock me because I, to this day, cannot see the Magic Eye posters. And when Willem finally just goes nuts and destroys them all, that was a win for me. That was a major, major win for me. Willow, Mad Mardigan. You know, Willow was supposed to be the next Star Wars trilogy for Lucas. Bottom left, if I remember right. It just didn't take off in theaters the way Lucas had hoped it would. But I thought it was amazing. I remember Mad Mardigan. First of all, a huge, huge fan of anything that Lucas does. Huge fan of anything that Val Kilmer is in. But if you haven't seen it, this is worth a watch. It still looks good. It's no conspiracy. I could never figure out. What I hated about the Magic Eye thing was how everybody that could see it was so smug about it. Like they knew something we couldn't figure out. You have to relax your eyes. Like my eyes aren't relaxed to begin with. You have to look through the picture. What the hell does that mean? You have to look at your eyes in the reflection beneath the glass. It was one piece of crap advice after another. I don't think it was real. This was real. This is very cool. Kilmer's greatest role, real genius. I can see that. For me, it's The Doors. Unfocus your eyes. Whatever, Kristen West. I tried real focus. I tried soft focus. But yeah, for me, it really was The Doors. For me, he turned into Jim Morrison. Watching Val Kilmer become Jim Morrison was eerie. His mannerisms, Doc Holliday, another one. Just a true chameleon. Absolutely awesome. Maximum Overdrive. Sold. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles? Yes, unless it's sold. So if I have a favorite John Hughes movie, it's Breakfast Club. It's not even really close. And the reason behind it is Brian articulates what the high school experience was if you're a less than popular kid. In The Breakfast Club, when Brian says to his new friends, they had just bonded, they had just gotten along, they had just connected, and he says to those kids, we're friends now, right? And Emilio Estevez's character immediately jumps up with yes, and then Molly Ringwald, Claire, says no. Because he says, if I come up to you guys on Monday, are we still friends? And Claire says no. And she's called a bitch for it. But she's not lying. She's not lying to Brian. She's not lying to herself. I was that dorky kid that got to hang out with the cool kids on a youth group night that I got shoved out to, or at a soccer game away from school, at something that took us out of our cliques and made connections that I thought were real, and then Monday morning I found out they weren't. Now, I also got more popular in school, right? I ditched the glasses, I grew a little, I got popular, and then I turned around and did the same thing to other kids. That's just the way it was. That was the magic of that movie. That movie wasn't about stereotypes, it was about archetypes. It's that every school had the nerd, the brain. Everyone had the princess. Everyone had the crazy person, the jock, the athlete, and more. I love that. But if I have a second favorite movie, it's this. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, because this is the Breakfast Club of us as adults. These are two archetypes, and they become friends until the end when they go their separate ways, and then they don't go their separate ways. They come back together. This is a magic movie for me. I absolutely, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, probably my favorite Thanksgiving movie there is. Stand By Me. Top 5 favorite movies. This movie takes place in the 50s. It very easily could have been the 70s. It could have been the 80s. It was 4 friends. Again, archetypes. This is Stand By Me. It might as well have been the Breakfast Club, except instead of sitting in a library on Saturday detention, they're looking for a dead body. And the dead body is the 5th kid. You know, you've got the brain. This right here is Brian. There's Ali Sheedy's character. There's Emilio Estevez's character. They're there. And I just think and they're all friends, but this is the Breakfast Club when they're friends. So I love, this movie meant a lot to me. If I could get to see this movie now that they're screening it, I would absolutely get there. And they found the dead body, and then they left the dead body. But it wasn't, I honestly believe Stephen King's best work, it wasn't really a dead body they were going out to find, right? Jerry O'Connell isn't Bender. No, Jerry O'Connell's not Bender, but again, they're different archetypes because there were more. And Jerry O'Connell, I mean, come on now. If you knew Jerry O'Connell when he was the fat kid, then you've got some age on you. Coming of age movie for us. Absolutely. The iconic line at the end of Stand By Me, and I'm going to paraphrase it, but I never again had any friends like the ones I had at 12 years old. Jesus, does anybody? And I hope the answer to that is yes. I hope we're finding that in our 50s now because, yeah, from 16 to 25, that's not quite the same. But now I'm reaching back out and making those friendships again. Jerry, when he was the chunky Canadian kid on TV. Yes, The Burbs, good movie too. Sandlot, another coming of age for us. Oh, Hugo, appreciate you, man. Outsiders, incredible. The Burbs being remade, I'm not sure how I feel about that. Kind of a different tell on the story. But yeah, this is a creepy, funny one. Jamie Lee Curtis, if I remember right.
No.
No? Who is it? It's a Jamie Lee Curtis. Carrie Fisher.
Really?
Close enough. Same short haircut.
Oh my God.
Inner Space, Parenthood. I love Parenthood. I loved Lost Boys. Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. Nobody talks to me about Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. I love it. Rupert the Monkey Boy. I think Dirty Rotten Scoundrels is hilarious. The Blob, and It's Alive in black and white. Brian says, hello from a fellow Gen Xer. I'll be turning 50 in a few months. Happy birthday, brother. Spaceballs, Three Amigos. Doreen says, close enough. Parenthood, honestly, a couple funny things about it. Number one, Steve Martin in Parenthood, probably 15 years younger than I am now, and looking all of 50. But it was just funny. And even the TV show they made after this was pretty decent. But great movie, great cast. And if I remember correctly,
Joaquin is Leaf.
who is this by? Who produced this? It's a
It's
Brian Grazer production. Good movie. Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. Dude, Rupert the Monkey Boy, when Steve Martin is running around the room yelling, Oklahoma, 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 when Michael Caine asks him if he wants the genital cuff again. One amazing line after another. Record Hound inserts evil laugh. Steve Martin bringing out his sister's vibrator and Paranoid. Original Poltergeist. Was there a second Poltergeist? Really?
The old scary man. God is in his holy temple.
Oh, I did see that too. Yeah, that was actually not bad.
No, he really looked like that.
Three Amigos. Directed by John Landis, Chevy Chase, Martin Short, Steve Martin. Awesome. Still have these movies on DVD and VHS. They're a classic film. So I'm doing a funny thing now. I am collecting these movies on VHS for my collection and buying them to have to watch on DVD. Legally Blonde. Again, doesn't feel old, but it is. Michael Dudikoff, American Ninja. Michael Dudikoff. Bachelor Party. Dude, this was highly inappropriate. I don't know about this. I don't think there was anything inappropriate about this. This was just a cool Delta Force kind of movie. This is just a kick-ass movie. And if you were a girl, yeah, Michael Dudikoff's not too hard on the eyes, so I guess there's that. This was far more inappropriate than you may remember. And I saw this young. I don't know how young, but I don't think I was 18. This came out in 1984, so I was 14 years old. Yeah, this was highly inappropriate. I liked it. That was Nick the Dick, if I remember correctly. Groundhog Day. Stay away from the foot-long hot dog. That's the one I remember. What is the babysitter? The Blue Lagoon. Best of the best. Yeah, that was another good one. A House of Our Own. Stay away from the cans. The Laugh. Thank you, Linda. Weekend at Bernie's. Dude, again, I don't know if that could be made today. They cart a dead body around all weekend long. I mean, seriously, here you go. How's that for magic once again? But just literally dragging his carcass, not for one movie, mind you, but at least two. They kept his dead ass around for 2 movies. By the second one, they didn't even have to use wires to stand him up. The rigor mortis took care of that. Once Bitten, Blazing Saddles. Why? Because I said couldn't be made today? Is that what got you to say Blazing Saddles? Because you're not wrong. This could not be made today. But like, it's almost like I knew you'd be asking about this. Dude, the other cool thing about this that nobody talks about is the people that were in it. There was a huge, everybody got involved in the inappropriateness for this. Whether it was Harvey Korman, whether it was Richard Pryor writing, everybody got in on the act on this. It was very cool. Mel Brooks.
99 years old.
He's 101 now.
What?
I'm pretty sure. Oh no, I'm thinking of Norman Lear. Norman Lear is over 100. The dad from Webster was Mongo. There were just so many people in it. What's up, Mr. M199? Flatliners. I literally just saw Flatliners for the first time in probably 15 years, like 3 days ago. And it holds up. It's still really good. Tell me this doesn't look like magic. I mean, I've never been impressed with myself, but I got a team of people here, a team named Julie, and that team, again, named Julie, is running her ass off to make the magic behind the scenes work. But yeah, this one, I mean, dude, again, Kiefer Sutherland, Julia Roberts, Kevin Bacon. Our movies had, like, the Brat Pack was the least of what we had. There were so many just amazing young people that we watched as we were coming up. Incredible. My Bodyguard. Just saw that again recently. Sold it. 148.67 on tonight's total, guys. Appreciate you. Looking good. We still got another 11 minutes to go. See if we can get over the 150. Just because 148.67 is going to bother me. So, how about this? Howard the Duck, Bestiality, the scene where she's in bed with him, did that strike anybody as weird back then? Because I got to tell you, it didn't occur to me that something was wrong. It didn't occur to me that they were in bed together with purpose. It wasn't a sleepover. They weren't napping. They had things in mind, and one of them was a duck. Howard, but yeah, you get what I mean. Based on a comic book. I don't know if you guys know that. This started as a comic book and then made its way to the movies. Dude, yes, Ghost. Ghost, I did not care for many, many, many reasons. The biggest reason I didn't like Ghost was because Patrick Swayze was impossible for any man to live up to in this movie. Death didn't stop him from loving Demi Moore, okay? Even death. My wife tells me to take out the garbage on a weekly basis, and 5 times out of 10 I fail. He got killed and still was there for her. And then, I'm sorry. Oh, thank you so much for the gift, dude. I'm so sorry. I don't have the ability to come in behind. Well, my wife doesn't do pottery. We couldn't remake that moment happen. And then finally, I felt bad for Demi Moore because he died, right? And she was beautiful. Oh, dude, thank you so much for the $10. I see you, man. She was a beautiful, vibrant young woman when he died. But she has proof positive that he's in heaven waiting for her. She saw him. You remember when he was all ghosty and shit? She saw him. So she knows he's up there watching. She will never be with anybody ever again. It's over. She's a nun. She's basically a nun because she knows for a fact that he's up there. And then the other thing that keeps me at night about this, I cannot unsee what Demi Moore must have been doing with what looked like Patrick Swayze, but we know it was Whoopi Goldberg, right? Eyebrowless Whoopi Goldberg. Say what you want about her. I'm not getting into politics or anything else. But Demi Moore making out with Whoopi Goldberg thinking it's Patrick Swayze, that could only happen back then. So, yeah, real sweet. Mom, all that crap. I will not watch this again. You can have it. Oh, God, you devil. Dude, anything with George Burns was awesome. What About Bob? I hated What About Bob. I would have killed Bob. I would have throat punched Bob. He ruined their vacation and everything else. George Burns. 18 again. Dude, George Burns was like 140 years old, I think. True story, when he made this. Maybe. I can't write this review. I can't stop laughing. Dale Stevens, Cincinnati Post. I like how they used to make up, like, it doesn't say Siskel and Ebert. You always knew when the reviews were kind of made up because it was always Dale Stevens from the Cincinnati Post, Brian Lewis from the Omaha Reviewer. You know, but if they really were good movies, it was always Siskel and Ebert. It was always at the movies. This probably sucked. Oh, she loves it. So, am I homophobic? Well, chronically funny, absolutely not. My daughter's actually gay, so there's that. Willow and Monster Squad, Arthur with Dudley Moore. I come from a generation of people that don't give a damn what you do in your bedroom for the most part. We don't care what you do, where you do, and how you do it. Don't bother me about it. I don't want to know. Yeah, I just don't think Whoopi Goldberg is my personal, and plus it's a joke. Tokenize my daughter. You're a jackass. It was nice knowing you. Bye-bye. Arthur is one of the best movies ever, without a doubt. I loved Arthur. I loved 10. Just funny. No worries, Linda. I had the joy of removing him. Arthur is the most fun money can buy. Dudley Moore, Liza Minnelli, and John Gielgud. Gielgud? I don't know. But Robin Williams was on fire. Dude, I love that, Marie. You know, it's just at the end of the day, we can laugh, right? We can have jokes, we can make fun, we can get together with friends and have a good time. Spending too much time staring at me. Well, it's okay, I get that. Just one of the guys. Just one of the guys is almost the female version of Porky's. Like, people don't realize it. She worked her way into the boys' locker room. So as inappropriate as Porky's was when we were growing up, right? And it was. Looking at Porky's with today's sensibilities, totally inappropriate. I've got daughters. I don't want men doing that. But just one of the guys flies under the radar. People kind of excuse it because it's the girl. But she did. She got her way into there and she got to see all the boys, and I don't remember anybody saying anything bad about that. True fact, my first major drunk was watching Sister Act while slugging Southern Comfort. Dude, I love Sister Act. My favorite Whoopi Goldberg movie was Jumping Jack Flash. I thought that was hilarious. Different era, you know, it was a different version of Whoopi. I thought Sister Act was funny. True story, Sister Act 2 featured the Fugees. Lauryn Hill. And I love her rendition in that. She was absolutely amazing in that. All things in moderation, including moderation. Oh, dude, could not be more in agreement with you. Sister Act and Sister Act 2, Back in the Habit. I didn't even have to look to know that. I'm pretty sure both of these were dates. I took women to see these because they were funny and safe, and you know, you knew it was going to work. And Whoopi Goldberg was hilarious, and Kathy Najimy, pretty funny too. Revenge of the Nerds, R.I.P. Robert Carradine. Another hugely problematic movie if looked at through today's eyes. We loved it, right? So talking to my daughters, they're like, how do you get away, like, how do you connect in your mind Porky's, Revenge of the Nerds, Police Academy movies? How are they not wrong today? How could, you know, why do you still think it's funny? And I tell her it's the same reason I love slasher films. I don't advocate for a killer making his way through a sleepaway camp. I don't advocate for any of those horrible, violent things. I don't root for the shark in Jaws. We're able to kind of disassociate with it as entertainment. And I think we do the same with these teen, crazy movies. It's just disassociating. If you take everything and say, you know, that it's problematic, so is every Disney movie where they kill the parents off in the first act. The Never-Ending Story. Oh my God, dude. Our tax will never be forgotten. What's that? Yeah?
Out of Africa. Have you seen that?
Cool Runnings. Presentism is a crime or a curse. It's just, you know, we evolve over time. We have a podcast that tomorrow night at 7 p.m. here on YouTube. It's called The Three View Mirror because there's three of us giving our points of view about three different topics of three different decades, and it's pop culture based. But here's the thing, the reason it's a three view mirror is a rear view mirror is about the best representation I can think of something you look at while you're moving forward, looking back. Right? The whole purpose of a rear view mirror is to be going forward as fast as you possibly can while at the same time keeping an eye on what's behind you. And I think that's what we need to do more of in our lives. We need to move forward without forgetting what's behind us, but we can't drive in reverse. We'll never get anywhere going in reverse. So when we say, I wish I could go back to the 80s, I wish I could go back to the 70s, I don't want to drive in reverse. I want to move ahead and take all the amazing things that life has to offer for us in the future, while at the same time looking behind us all the way through. And that's the idea. At the same time, it's a fun little game because of the three topics, there's always one hidden connection that's up to y'all to guess. Scarface was boring. I said what I said. Say hello to my little friend. Wing Commander, Starship Troopers. Well, my claim to fame, my friend Dina Myers follows me on Instagram, and if that's not like, a college crush coming to fruition. Gene Wilder and Richard Pryor were great together in everything, agreed. Extras are very flexible. We're both analog and digital. 1000% Wenjo, couldn't agree more. Ice Pirates, the Dungeon Master, Zapped. Johnny Five is alive. Dude, I was trying to get that quote for a video, and for the life of me, I couldn't find it. I found Short Circuit. I could not find on YouTube the exact moment he says Johnny Five is alive. I tried Googling it. I could not find it. I don't know if it just exists in our memories. Is that another Mandela effect? But I couldn't find it. He says, I'm alive.
Johnny
Five is alive. Yeah, okay, I couldn't find it.
I tried.
Johnny Five is alive. Now, JD says it's number 5 is alive. Maybe it is number 5 is alive. I might have been Googling it wrong.
Maybe because I tried.
I bet you we're remembering it wrong. That would explain why I couldn't find it. I bet you it's number 5 is alive.
Number 5 is still alive.
And is that not, that's not what we remember.
Absolutely not.
So number 5 is still alive, but I remember him coming up and asking, Johnny 5 is alive? Yeah, another Mandela effect. Well, listen, we're at 59 minutes and 59 seconds, just clicked over to an hour, so some housekeeping. Monday nights, 7 p.m. on YouTube, me, my buddy Chris Clues, Rochelle Oblak, Gen X Show, we do a podcast called The Three View Mirror. 7 p.m. every Monday night Eastern Time. Got to be there. There's 135 of you in here. I expect to see you all tomorrow night. 3 topics going back to the 70s, 80s, and 90s. We only talk about each topic for about 15 minutes. You guys are our live studio audience. We use your comments to help drive the show. And at the end, 3 topics, 1 secret. You guys have to decide, is the secret connection maybe an actor that has something to do with all 3 topics? Maybe it's a location, maybe it's a song. You only know by waiting till the very end, and that's tomorrow. Hope to see a lot of you guys there. It is an act of love. I really want the podcast to do well and grow. So I would love that more than anything. And then on Tuesday night, I will be live at the Hickory Tavern in Indian Land, South Carolina, doing Gen X era trivia. I do know that, Linda. So if you guys like trivia, are we shelling it? It is Shell's turn, so it's highly possible. Don't forget to whip the like button. Whip it good. Love my Xers. Dukes of Hazzard TV show, one of my all-time favorites. Thanks for all you do. Dude, thank you guys for all you do. You guys make it possible. You support me both emotionally and financially, and I appreciate you guys more than you know. So Monday night, 7 p.m. 3 View Mirror. Tuesday night, 7 p.m. here on YouTube. The 70s, 80s, 90s Gen X era trivia, and then we'll be back right here. Same bat time, same bat channel, different location. See you next Sunday. Stay rad, everybody. Be cool. Be totally awesome. Dude, thank you for the 20. Appreciate you. Love you all. Peace.